Hello children, very good morning. I hope you all are fine and everyone take care of yourself. Hope as usual you all are watching the video lesson and according to that you all are completing the assignment. So children, today we are going to continue our 12th chapter, Simple Machine. So children, in the previous video of this chapter, we had completed what is machine, types of machine, and in that two types of machine, simple machine and complex machine, we had completed. So children, here related to simple machine, we had learned devices which are used to get more work done in less time and less effort are called machines. Next one, we had completed simple machine. So children, related to simple machine, machines which have only one or two parts and a simple and easy structure are called simple machine. Next one, we had completed complex machine. The machine which have many parts which carry out many processes for completing a task. For this purpose, the parts are joined to one another. Therefore, these machines are called complex machine. We had seen all these examples in last time. One by one we had completed. The mixer, scooter, bicycle, sewing machine and all. So children, in this class we are going to see next topic, inclined plane. So in our inclined plane, here from picture we can observe a heavy drum is to be loaded onto a truck. Ravi choose the plank A while Hamid choose the plank B. Rahi did not use a plank at all. From the picture you all can observe. In figure A, Hamid is there. In figure A, Ravi is there. In figure B, Hamid is there. And in figure C, Rahi is there. Now question is there, who would find the drum heaviest to load? Who would find it lightest? And which of the plank A and B is longer? Which one has a steeper slope? Who can we conclude from this? What can we conclude from this? So children, all this answer one by one we will clear. First one, that is, who is that first one? Ravi. Second one, Hamid. And third one is Rahi. So in a slanting plane is used to lift a weight. First point, why inclined plane is there and now it is slanting plane. Why it is using? Answer is for lifting a weight. Clear it? Slanting plane is using for lifting a weight. We have to bear less of the weight and lifting it becomes easier. Such a plank is called an inclined plane. Okay students, got the point? We are using slanting plane to lift a weight. First point. Second point, we have to bear less of the weight and lifting it become easier. Second point completed. And because of this lifting is easier, that's why we are using slanting plane and this plank is called as an inclined plane. The more gradual the slope, the lesser is the weight we bear. But such an inclined plane is longer. Then, for example, in first diagram, the steeper the slope, the shorter the inclined plane. Which one? Figure number B. But we have to bear a greater weight. Now, next one, Rahi, he has to lift the bigger weight. Now children, one more example related to our inclined plane. Suppose Rohit and Mohit want to keep a load onto a truck as shown in the picture. How do they place these loads onto the truck? To keep these loads onto the truck, either they have to leave off the loads or have to use slanting plank. So they both decided to keep these loads with the help of slanting plank, not like a Rahi. But why do they use slanting plane? Because if the slanting plane is used to lift the weight, they have to bear lesser weight and lifting become easier. And what we call this slanting plane? That is called inclined plane. So children, now we will see what happens if the length of the plank used by Rohit and Mohit are different. Suppose Rohit and Mohit choose the plank of length 2 meter and 5 meter respectively as shown in the picture. One has chosen the plank of 5 meter and the other one is taken the plank of 2 meter. How can you tell me while loading who would find the load heaviest and who finds lightest? In the picture we see that the plank used by Rohit, or you can say first picture, is short and has a steeper slope, that is in second one. Therefore he has to bear a greater weight. Diagram number second, because he is having 2 meter, that's slanting position, and he has to bear a greater weight. And the plank used by Mohit is longer, as we had seen in first diagram, has a gradual slope, and the gradual slope means enough slope is there. Which one is 5 meter slanting position is there. Therefore he has to lesser weight. From this we conclude that the weight of an object depends on the stiffness and length of the plane used. Conclusion understood, students? We conclude that the weight of an object depends on the stiffness and length of the plane used. So children, now use your brain power to solve the question. How to the vehicle climb up on the winding roads or ghats? So from here our textbook some questions is given. Here what we will see first, cut out a triangular piece of paper A, B, C. Draw a red line along the edge AC. After that we will see, roll this paper around a pencil as shown in the picture. What do we see? After that the inclined side AC of triangle descend gradually from A to C, as we are seeing. A to C, this plank is more. Next one, as I ask you the question, the threads on a screw are made in the same way. That is why when a screw is fitted in wood, it goes in as if it is a going down an inclined plane. Therefore, less force is required to fit a screw than to hammer a nail. In other words, screw is like a rolled up inclined plane made up of an iron strip. Means one is screw, which one is having the many rolls, and it is same as a inclined plane. And next one, there is a nail and all that. Means when it will be hammer, then that screw will take less time. Therefore, one more this one question related to our inclined plane, that is, here question is given, less force is required to fit a screw than to a hammer a nail. So children, listen, answer properly. A screw is like a rolled up inclined plane of an iron strip. Second point, when a screw is fitted in wood, it goes in as if it is going down an inclined plane. Third point, therefore, less force is required to fit a screw than hammer a nail. Now, related to this only, one more question is there. A winding road or ghat that goes up a mountain is also like an inclined plane wrapped around the mountain. It helps big vehicle to climb up and down the mountain easily. So here answer will be a winding road or ghat that goes up a mountain is like an inclined plane wrapped around the mountain. Point is clear? That around this one is mountain road or winding road, you can say, that goes up a mountain like an inclined plane wrapped around the mountain. Next point, it helps big vehicle to climb up and down the mountain easily. Because of this one, what happens? The vehicles climb up easily. Because of this inclined plane of the mountain, vehicles can climb up easily. So children, related to our inclined plane, we had completed all example. Here two routes, namely a pathway and a road, are available to climb the mountain shown in the picture. This picture. Then compare the time and strength and your convenience required to reach the mountain top. So here what answer will be there? As we had seen that mountain is like a inclined plane. So what we will observe, that we can reach the mountain top by climbing the pathway early, then by the road. The time required is less, but the strength required is more. The road is easy to walk and more time consuming. So, in our here one scientist name is given, Archimedes screw. In the past, the Greek scientist Archimedes invented the machine shown in this picture. That is why this picture Archimedes screw. This picture is called as a Archimedes screw. So children, it was used to lift water from the hold of a ship. Archimedes used a round pipe fitted with a rod inside it. The pipe was placed at an angle of 45 degrees with one end inside the water and the rod resting on a flat surface. When the rod was turned, water got lifted in this device. So children, all this type of inclined plane, that is slanting plane, is called inclined plane. All this type of example is known as inclined plane of or slanting plane of or slanting position. So children, here we had completed related to example of inclined plane. Now we will see what happen if the next one is next topic of which we might have seen your mother while cutting the vegetables in the kitchen. What does she use for cutting the vegetable? Or while cutting pizza, what do you use to cut a pizza? To do all the things, we and your mother use a knife. From this, we can say that for breaking an object into two or more pieces, we need sharp tools. Also, to separate the stuck objects, we use sharp tools like knife, scissors, axe, needle, chisel and nail, etc. But what we call all these sharp tools? Children, such tools are called a wedge. So, an axe is used for cutting wood. A sharp tool is formed on joining two inclined planes. Such a tool is called a wedge. A wedge is used for breaking an object into two pieces or two separate objects stuck together. Here many examples are there. Axe example, knife, chisel or some other types of tools are there to separate the object from each other. A needle and a nail are also kind of wedges. A needle is required for stitching cloth. We use a knife for cutting fruit. If the tip of a needle or the edge of a knife becomes blunt, when the needle doesn't penetrate the cloth and the knife doesn't cut into the fruit. Why this is so? So children, because the tip of the needle or the edge of a knife becomes blunt due to regular use. Both the knife and the needles lost their sharpness. Both the point understood? First point, question is given in your textbook and related to that, first point, the tip of the needle or the edge of a knife become blunt due to regular use. Second point, both the knife and the needle lose their sharpness. So, what happened? Because of that one, they are not working properly. Now next one we are going to study, that is lever. So children, related to lever, we will see that a lever is one of the basic form of simple machine. It helps to lift the weight, as one tools is given over here. A lever is one of the basic form of simple machine. It helps to lift the weight. Clear it? What is lever? So, related to this one, in the picture we can see a worker. What he is doing? Such a machine, which one is there in his hand, that type of machine is called a lever. So children, a lever has three parts. First part, effort. Second part, load. And third part is called as a fulcrum. So children, here, now let's see this part one by one. the first part of lever is fulcrum. So, as in your textbook is given, the support at which the rod of a lever is rested is called the fulcrum of a lever. The lever rotates about the fulcrum. Clear? Children, related to fulcrum of a lever, the support at which the rod of a lever is rested is called the fulcrum of a lever, and the rested position, that is the lever rotates about the fulcrum. Now we will see the second part of the lever, that is load. As it is clearly given in our textbook, second point, the weight lifted by a lever or the force against which the lever acts is called the load. The arm of the lever from the fulcrum to the load is called the load arm. So children, we will see third part of the lever, that is effort. What do you mean by effort? The force applied on the other end of the rod to lift the load is called the effort. Repeating, the force applied on the other end of the rod to lift the load is called the effort. The part of the lever from the fulcrum to the effort is called the effort arm. From the part of the lever from the fulcrum to the effort is called the effort arm. So children, here related to lever and its all the three parts we had completed. Now we will see one more example of lever. Place a pencil on a table. Place a ruler on it. 8 right angles with it. Put a paperweight on one end of the ruler. Press the other end with your finger to lift the weight. Which are the load arm, the effort arm and the fulcrum of this lever? So, we will see that now go on increasing the distance between the paperweight and the pencil by 4 centimeters every time. What I told, that go on increasing the distance between the paperweight and the pencil by 4 centimeters every time, and see whether the paperweight can be lifted when placed at each of those distance. What we are going to find, that one we will see. As the effort arm become longer and longer compared to the load arm, less and less force is required to lift the paperweight. Understood the point clearly? Children, as the effort arm becomes longer and longer compared to the load arm, less and less force is required to lift the paperweight. Such a lever is called a lever of the first order. So children, here we had seen one example. Now related to lever, effort arm, fulcrum and load arm, we will see second example. So in our second example, we will see that in second picture, removing of the lid. The picture shows how we use an opener to remove the cap of a saucer bottle or sauce bottle. Try to do the same yourself in the presence of your parents. To remove the tight fitting cap, the opener is rested on the cap and we apply a force on the opposite end of the opener to pull it upwards. The cap also gets pulled up as the opener rotates about the fulcrum. Where are the fulcrum, load and effort in this case? From the figure, from the picture, it is clear. When it is rested with the help of that lever when you are opening. That one is a force on the opposite end of the opener to pull a upward direction. And what happens in that position? When you pull up the opener, it rotates about the fulcrum. And in this way, that lid of the bottle is opening. Now, we will see next example. How do we lift an object using tongue? So, children, the weight or the load is at one end of the arms of the tongues. We apply effort in the middle of the arms. It means the effort is applied in the middle of the lever, while the fulcrum and the load are at the opposite ends. Therefore, children, it's given that weight of the load is at one end of the arm. That is which one is shown in the diagram. And that weight is in the arm of the tongue. And we apply effort in the middle of the arm. What happens? It means the effort is applied in the middle of the lever, while the fulcrum and the load are at the opposite ends. There are three types of levers depending upon the position of the effort, the fulcrum and the load. So children, here everything will clear. Lever of the first order. The fulcrum is in the center. The load is at one end while the effort is at the other end. From the arrow and the plane surface, you can understand properly. Now, second order, that is lever of the second order. The load is in the center and the fulcrum on one side and the effort on the other side. In the third type of picture, the lever of the third order. The effort is in the center. The fulcrum is one side and the load on the other side. So children, today related to inclined plane and lever, we had completed all the example as well as all the related parts of lever. I hope you all understood. So children, related to this video lesson, I put the question and I hope you all can able to answer the question. So children, take care of yourself. Be safe, healthy and happy. God bless you children. Thank you.